Hey there, history buffs. Welcome back to Fun Fact 101, where we flip the script on the past and serve up epic stories with a twist. After our wild ride through World War I, it's time to crank it up a notch and dive into the colossal, chaotic saga of World War II, a conflict so epic it redefined warfare, innovation, and the human spirit. Get ready for a journey packed with jaw-dropping battles, mind-blowing inventions, and some crazy, fun facts you probably never knew. It all started when the fragile peace following World War I shattered under the weight of economic depression and lingering resentment from the Treaty of Versailles. In 1939, Germany, under Adolf Hitler's ruthless ambition, invaded Poland, setting off a chain reaction that plunged the world into a war unlike any before. This wasn't just another fight, it was the ultimate global showdown, where nations were forced to pick sides and rewrite the rules of warfare. On one side, you had the Axis powers, Germany, Italy, and Japan, driven by expansionist dreams and authoritarian regimes. On the other, a diverse coalition of allies, including Britain, the Soviet Union, China, and later the United States, united by a common goal: to stop tyranny at all costs. Think of it as the most intense team sport ever. But instead of jerseys and whistles, the players had tanks, bombers, and unyielding determination. In Europe, Germany unleashed the terrifying Blitzkrieg, lightning warfare that combined fast-moving tanks, coordinated airstrikes, and swift infantry advances to overwhelm opponents in mere weeks. Here's a wild fact. During these lightning assaults, some German units would abandon their heavy equipment because their supply lines couldn't keep up with their breakneck speed. It was as if they were sprinting through history, leaving behind a trail of abandoned gear. Meanwhile, across the vast expanse of the Pacific, Japan's surprise attack on Pearl Harbor in 1941 jolted the United States out of isolation, sparking an entirely different kind of conflict. The American entry into the war turned the Pacific into a sprawling arena of island-hopping battles, fierce naval duels, and dogfights that redefined air combat. Before the attack, many in the U.S. military believed Hawaii was too remote and well-fortified to be vulnerable, a miscalculation that led to one of the most dramatic wake-up calls in history. The war raged on multiple fronts. In the icy landscapes of the Eastern Front, the brutal Battle of Stalingrad became a symbol of Soviet resilience. Amidst freezing temperatures and urban carnage, Soviet snipers like Vasily Zaitsev reportedly racked up over 400 confirmed kills, an astonishing feat that turned one man into a legend. In North Africa, desert warfare tested the limits of endurance as Allied and Axis forces clashed under the scorching sun, each side maneuvering across endless dunes in a tactical dance of survival. But Bautu wasn't just a war of raw power. It was a crucible for innovation. In secret bunkers across England, brilliant code breakers at Bletchley Park, led by figures like Alan Turing, decrypted the German Enigma machine, a breakthrough that is estimated to have shortened the war by years and saved countless lives. And then there was the U.S. Ghost Army, a top-secret unit that used inflatable tanks, fake radio transmissions, and sound effects to trick German forces into believing they were facing a much larger army. Imagine an entire battalion masquerading as a phantom force. It was real-life espionage meets stage magic. Innovation took on bizarre forms, too. The U.S. even experimented with a bat bomb project. Yes, you heard that right. Attaching incendiary devices to bats with the hope that they set enemy installations ablaze. Although the idea ultimately fizzled out, it perfectly captures the era's wild, desperate creativity. And on the home front, industries transformed at breakneck speed. Factories once dedicated to consumer goods were retooled overnight to produce everything from aircraft and tanks to vital supplies, turning the entire nation into a colossal war machine. Amid all this technological marvel and strategic ingenuity, the human stories of heroism, sacrifice, and sheer resilience shine through. Resistance fighters in occupied Europe risked their lives daily, orchestrating daring escapes and sabotages that defied the iron grip of oppressive regimes. In cities under siege, ordinary civilians found moments of levity and unity, improvised street parties in the midst of bombings, shared meals in freezing conditions, and songs that echoed with hope even as darkness loomed. And here's another crazy fun fact. In one peculiar instance during the war, a British soldier attempted to ransom his captured enemy by offering a secret stash of chocolate as collateral. It sounds absurd, but it's just one of the many bizarre stories that emerged from a conflict where survival sometimes meant resorting to the most unexpected tactics. The turning point came in 1945. In Europe, the relentless advance of Allied forces finally broke through, leading to the collapse of Nazi Germany after Hitler's demise. In the Pacific, the U.S. made a fateful decision by dropping atomic bombs on Hiroshima and Nagasaki, forcing Japan into surrender. This dramatic, controversial end not only marked the conclusion of the war, but also ushered in a new era defined by the terrifying power of nuclear weapons and the urgent need for international cooperation. World War II changed the very fabric of our world. It reshaped borders, sparked the Cold War, and led to the creation of institutions like the United Nations, designed to prevent such catastrophic conflicts in the future. The war also accelerated technological advancements and paved the way for the modern industrial and digital age, influencing everything from global politics to everyday life. Yet, even as we marvel at the grand historical narratives and technological breakthroughs, it's the personal stories that truly resonate. There were moments of absurdity amid the chaos, like how, during the bitter winter months on the Eastern Front, soldiers would sometimes stage impromptu concerts or share makeshift meals to keep morale high. In occupied territories, some communities managed to organize secret celebrations and even street parties as a form of resistance against the oppressive forces around them. These snapshots of humanity, filled with creativity and camaraderie, remind us that even in the darkest times, hope and humor can light the way. As we look back on World War II, it's clear that the conflict was not just about battles and technology, but about the resilience of people facing insurmountable odds. The lessons of WWI Unplugged about unity, innovation, and the power of the human spirit continue to influence our world today. They remind us that even in the face of unimaginable destruction, there's always room for courage, ingenuity, and sometimes even a little bit of absurdity. Thanks for joining me on this deep dive into one of the most transformative periods in history. If you enjoyed this exploration and learned something new, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe for more engaging history, and share your thoughts in the comments below. What's the craziest WWI fact you've ever heard? Let's keep the conversation rolling and honor the legacy of those who fought for our future. Stay curious, keep exploring, and remember, history isn't just about the past, it's the blueprint of our future.